even like a Hasan fan could fairly look at this and say that, yeah, that's terrorist propaganda. Um, Here it
Oh
is
my
up on
God.
his page still. To this very moment is the clip of him watching Houthi propaganda video while getting up and just letting it
Houthi
play.
propaganda.
And this is okay with you, Dan? You coward! You are such a loser. This man hates Jewish people. There's no other. It's conceivable. You know what I mean? That
Oh
guy's
my
doing.
God.
He's going. No, you're crazy for thinking that.
Look
at this. Why is it still on the website? Why can I still watch Houthi propaganda without any critical commentary on their website?
Absolutely, Zach. Let's do that. Let's talk a little bit about Ethan Klein. You guys know we've talked a lot about the Ethan Hasan drama. I continue to think that it's totally unhinged of Ethan to engage in this like one-sided beef that Hasan clearly doesn't care about. Hasan is so over Ethan. He doesn't give a shit about any of this like pearl clutching and tattletaling, but Ethan is still at it. He's still like, I'm like deciding to be this cop trying to like report Hasan to the mods at Twitch and then like shaming the Twitch company for not censoring enough people. Like, Zach, obviously we love to make content based on any and every disagreement that we have with people who share this space, people on YouTube, right?
100%.
But could you imagine with any of those beefs, Anna Kasparian, Jimmy Dore, could you imagine doing a stream where we're, publicly pressuring YouTube to censor any of those folks, to ban them or to renege on their contract or whatever? It's insane. I just can't even put myself in the headspace where that would be a logical next step in a debate sort of situation.
Well, yeah, it's self-defeating. You and I are able to think long term, okay? One, I say crazy shit all the time for a living. Okay, not crazy to me, but I off the cuff, I go hard on this podcast, right? We always say the meanest shit you've ever heard me say in my entire life about anybody that's in this space has been live on this podcast. I never talk shit on anybody off air, but on air, I'll let you guys have all the smoke that I want to, because that's content, right? That's what we're doing right here. This is us doing ideological battle. We're up here putting our ideas against these other people. And yeah, you're representing your argument. I'm representing mine. Let's go to war, right? Let's do that. But I would never advocate the censorship of somebody else, because that's just going to be a chicken that comes home to roost for me, but also because it's wrong. It's immoral. I believe in free speech. Like, anyway, There's room for discussing that. But as far as like, I disagree with Tucker Carlson, or I disagree with Sagar and Jetty, or I disagree with Anna Kasparian. Like, Anna Kasparian, probably the best example. Anna and Jank, we have almost constant daily disagreements with them. They claim to be the home of progressives. Really, we're the home of progressives, the Casa del Vanguard, right? So we have to beef with them about that until they're willing to give up the strap. You know what I mean?
Yep.
100%. And I would never advocate that their channel should get taken down. I would never advocate that anything that Anna said should mean that their work should be suppressed in the algorithm. I don't think that even the most, hateful, Trump apologetic bullshit that Anna's put out of her mouth, I don't think Tim Pool should be suppressed. I think we should go to the forest and debate these people, right? Because we're lumberjacks. That's what you do.
Yep, 100%. I don't think we've ever sat in these chairs and advocated for the censorship of any of our enemies, any of our opponents, even people that lie about us, people that smear us. And I just can't imagine being someone like Ethan Klein, who has a platform so much bigger than the Vanguard, has more money than we'll ever dream of having, more relevance, hundreds of thousands sometimes people watch him while he's live, like everything you could ever want as a streamer. He's made it. But here he is, still obsessed with Hasan Piker, because
his old buddy.
Yeah, because they used to do a show together. And let's take a look at this ridiculousness that he posted on Instagram. As I said, Ethan always takes to Instagram randomly to drop these dumb, petty posts. And this one came, I believe, last night. Ethan says, "When I made the show with Hasan, I genuinely thought he was just a social democrat progressive like myself. I had no idea his politics were so radical, and that's my fault. 90% of the time he's shitting on Republicans, and that's what I had seen. But his politics are like a Trojan horse, a veneer of reasonability with extremely radical views hidden within. The cracks begin to appear when we started talking about Ukraine, Taiwan, and Tibet. Once I noticed it, it all began to fall apart."
Can I jump in really quickly right there? I think this is really important for people to talk about, because as soon as you start to discuss the broader United States military apparatus, as soon as you start to articulate your leftist message within the context that the United States is an active empire, you are going to lose a lot of people who are married to a specific empirical outcome, right? As I don't know if that's the correct way to put that, empire outcome, right? I.e., he is married ideologically to the preservation of Israel. He is married ideologically to the preservation of our military project there, because, as we all know, Israel could not survive autonomously in the region, even with their nukes. Okay, I understand. Yes, they could cause a lot of damage on the way out, but they would not survive. They would not make it out on the way. They know that. Ethan knows that. The U.S. hegemony that we mandate globally, okay, is required to maintain Israel as a, occupier colonial state, right? We are also an occupier colonial state. However, we are not looking down the current moment of an opportunity to preserve the indigenous land of America. That occurred hundreds of years before Gavin and I were born, right? Anyway, what's so disheartening is to see a guy like Ethan have the cognitive dissonance, right, to have such a self-serving and narcissistic outlook on the world that he's able to go, I am a social democrat progressive. I just want to make sure that I'm always on the top of the global scale and the food chain instead of on the bottom. And I have no interest in making the world go like this as a political mission.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I also think it's completely ridiculous that Ethan lies and said that, oh, when I started Leftovers with Hasan, I thought he was just like a total normie Democrat or whatever. Bro, the most famous thing Hasan was known for at the time was saying that America deserved 9/11. Like that, you knew about that. Obviously, you knew about that. Everyone knew about that. It was, like I said, easily the number one thing that Hasan was known for at the time. Maybe it still is. Maybe it still is. And also, nothing that Hasan says is radical. Let's be honest. Nothing that Hasan says is radical. Sometimes he makes edgy jokes, just like Ethan, just like
us,
just like Destiny, just like Vosh, just like basically any political streamer. They all make edgy jokes that you could take something out of context and see, oh, look what this, he's laughing at something very serious. Can you believe it? That's what Ethan Klein keeps doing. But in reality, the sort of sentiments that he's talking about, this like, kind of milquetoast anti-imperialism, America shouldn't be funding Israel. Maybe America shouldn't be funding Ukraine's war against Russia. It seems sort of like a proxy war, stuff like that. It's not radical. This is not like Jackson Hinkle crap. This is not like Danny Haifong shit or anything. Hasan's basically just a pretty standard like 2000s era leftist. We grew up in the 2000s, in the Bush era. It was very popular to shit on America. It was very popular to say, hey, we're the bad guys. We're the actual terrorists in the global community. And yeah, our presence is one of destruction, one of mass death. I mean, look what happened in Iraq. Look what happened in Afghanistan. You don't even have to talk about Israel to paint this picture and to understand why Hasan would be making the points that he's making. He's not saying that America shouldn't fund Ukraine because he loves Russia. He's saying we shouldn't fund Ukraine because we have no moral high ground. We have no, like, what position do we have to stand on as the number one exporter of terrorism and destruction and death in the world to pick sides and arm rebels and say, I think that we should maintain dominance in Eastern Europe. So we're going to pick this
Not
country.
just rebels, Gavin. Anti-Semitic rebels, by the way. Oh, but we can sweep that under the rug. But if it's the Houthis, then we can't. You guys want to play that game? Oh, the Azov Battalion doesn't represent the views of all the Ukrainian people. Then how that might be true, right? Okay, then how come the anti-Semitism that we see coming from the Houthis represents all of the people who are advocating for justice and liberation in Palestine? And furthermore, how come Zelensky, when he was hosting the Ukrainian knockoff Oscars, made a joke about how Mein Kampf was sold out all over Ukraine? Huh? Go look it up. He did. It was a big joke. He was like, haha, you can't find a copy of Mein Kampf anywhere in Ukraine. It's because they're all sold out at every bookstore. He was making a joke about how deeply anti-Semitic his country was. But you guys see how your arguments fall apart. I'm really glad that you brought this up.
Anyway, so Ethan says, let's finish this, and then we'll play some of Ethan's deranged live show from yesterday, where he continues to play the role of the Karen, desperately trying to get the manager on the line. Ethan really wants to talk to that manager, guys. Anyway, He goes on to say, I hold myself accountable for anyone from my audience that was radicalized by him. I'm also sorry, but does this not have like racist undertones? Like Hasan is a Muslim guy or someone from a Muslim background. And he's, like I said, he's really just a basic lefty commentator. But the way Ethan talks about him, he literally acts like he's a terrorist, radicalizing people. It really gives me like flashbacks to the 2000s, as I keep saying. And it's disgusting because, like I said, I feel like lots of people have the exact same opinions as Hasan and they say the same stuff as Hasan, but they don't get called terrorists and they don't say like, oh, you're radicalizing people and shit. Like he's some ISIS leader or something. It's ridiculous.
Dude, that actually is a great point, and I would have been inclined to defend Ethan because I'm like, well, I don't know if Ethan seems like that kind of guy, except for given the context of the entire situation here. I think you make a compelling point that he wouldn't be behaving this way. And I do see a lot of those undertones in the way that Ethan describes Hasan, and honestly, in a way that I didn't even really want to think about, but you're pretty correct.
He then goes on to say, I'll likely have more to say about Hasan. Yeah, I'm sure you will. If this is too much for you to stomach, I am perfectly happy with you unsubscribing. Frankly, shedding some of the more radical portions of our audience is probably a good thing.
This is Cope. He just knows people are going to start mass unsubscribing.
Yep. And also, he says this too. As someone who's been fighting extremism for many years, I cannot look the other way when it comes from my side of the aisle.
Thanks, Hillary Clinton.
I didn't realize that he was actually just doing this as a good deed for all of humanity. As someone who has long fought extremism, he is simply but doing his duty, Zach, to remove yet another extremist from the wild. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Hasan is just a lefty commentator who's critical of American foreign policy. That's just being a leftist. You're just turning into a freaking Republican, like some Lindsey Graham motherfucker that's like, we have to put down the radicals in Iran or whatever. Like, you sound like a fucking lunatic, bro.
He's on his Wesley Snipes era. He's staring down his old fucking comrade like at the end of New Jack City. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's play the clip of Ethan Klein because I haven't seen this yet. I'm excited to plow into it.
Yeah, let's take a look. So I'll pull up the actual clip, but let's take a look at the way he titled it first. So I don't know if this is an older employee or someone in our chat, I think, said it was a newer employee, which is even funnier if that's true. I'm not 100% sure, but the video is titled "Our Ukrainian Employee Debunks Hasan's Insane Takes on Russia." So I guess they made this poor Ukrainian lady like sit here and they made her sit here and frickin' be the token Ukraine. This reminds me of when Dylan Burns went to Ukraine and then played clips of Hasan to the war-torn refugees or whatever and was like, do you condemn this? Like, will you dunk on my my enemy online for me?
Gavin and I are going to go to the West Bank and show them footage of Ethan Klein, and we'll be like, hey, guys, I know that there's a lot going on right now, but do you condemn this vile anti-Palestinian rhetoric? Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what would be the most constructive thing to do.
Anyway, so yeah, I have the actual video, so we don't have to be subjected to any ad breaks. Still not paying for YouTube Premium.
Get the fuck out of here, YouTube. YouTube should pay us for premium, by the way, guys. We make so much fucking money for YouTube, and people are like, why don't you guys turn off the ads? They exploit us enough. Okay, we don't control anything for the ads, but we just have the button that's like, do you guys want to enable Google Ads? We do turn on Google Ads.
Move on to Twitch. I have a Twitch update because today they put out this anti-Semitism controversy that's been going on. They haven't said anything about it. They've been business as usual, just like head in the sand. They banned the 3 creators and then they didn't say anything about it. Like, how cowardly can you be? So then here comes, they finally made a statement today by Dan Clancy, the biggest fuck up in the next to Ryan Kavanaugh, probably.
They're probably friends.
Honestly.
I can't stand Dan.
Oh no, he doesn't like Jews. He wouldn't fuck with. And Ryan Kavanaugh's like a mega Zionist.
Oh yeah, they probably hate each other.
Yeah.
I'm the first Jew.
You're not the first Jew, bro. Stop.
I'm the first Jew on stage in Texas.
That's just, dude, of all time in Texas, that's a huge state.
Thank you.
What the fuck is this content
Look at
even?
this fucking idiot, Dan Clancy. Let me show you how much he cares about this.
He misspelled his last name.
Yes, with a K. I get it. It's really good. This motherfucker included tweet copy.
Oh my god.
This
That
man
is
took
so-
it straight from the PR agency and copy pasted it. He didn't even give it enough consideration to check the fucking notes.
Okay, that is just objectively funny.
What a pathetic loser, man.
It's
Also, why are you
so
using
funny.
a 20-year-old, a 20-year younger photo of you? You just stop. What are you trying to? Are you trying to fucking catfish like some of your streamers? Is that what you're doing?
Gavin, can you weigh in? Is this considered comedy? Is this something that people tune in and enjoy, or is this part of the background noise? People always tell us, I'm like, how do people go for 8 hours a day? And they're like, no, they're not really podcasting for 8 hours a day. They're just bantering and letting the, camera go while they're in the background, Gavin. But like, what the fuck? I mean, I would kill myself if I had to listen to this any longer.
I do think Ethan's genuinely capable of being funny, even in this kind of setting where he's bantering and where they're just like being dumb. Like, remember when we reacted to some of those great takedowns of Vosh from when that whole controversy was going down?
That is the best content I've ever seen from H3. I will give them that.
100%. Ethan is funny, and when he's actually making fun of someone who deserves to be made fun of, then it's great. It's good content. But this is not good content because it's just like your petty bullshit where you're like making fun of the CEO of Twitch because he didn't ban your ex-friend and old co-host that you don't like anymore. So it just comes off as really petty. And like I said, he comes off like a Karen. I'm really getting like, I said this before, but I'm getting Keffel's vibes from Ethan, where he seems to just be so obsessed with like banning everyone who doesn't like him and like calling the manager and like trying to get everyone who criticizes him taken down for hate speech and stuff like that. Misinterpreting obvious jokes to try to make his points. It really does give me Keffel's vibes.
Yeah, it's called the manager vibe for sure. It's very petulant.
Yep.
Anyway, we can keep watching it. I'm just like, boy, I hope this heats up. I haven't seen this yet.
I look young and beautiful.
Because I know you're a fan of all the hot streamers. I see them on your homepage, you creepy fuck. Tweet copy these nuts, bitch. So after all the time, this is what they have to say. Tweet copy. I want to share a blog post on the Twitch blog. I want to make clear that Twitch stands firmly against hate and harassment of any form. You can read more about our commitment to safety and belonging on Twitch here. Okay. Let's see what they said. Obviously, it's been quite a big dialogue happening and quite a lot of controversy. Being accused of being anti-Semitic as a platform is pretty heavy. So I would imagine that they're going a long way to disprove that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, except unless it's a completely empty accusation and they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about a lot of these Zionist thin-skinned people like Ethan Klein. They're used to getting their way because usually companies are absolutely terrified the minute you accuse them of anti-Semitism. And I mean, for good reason. Like, obviously no company wants to be anti-Semitic. We're not sitting here saying that that's in any way a good thing. If Hasan was genuinely anti-Semitic, then we wouldn't be defending him, obviously. Ethan's just making shit up, though. He's literally smearing this person and trying to get Twitch to act like his statements are genuinely anti-Semitic when, like I said, they're not. And it's fucking cringe.
No,
Yeah.
We can keep playing.
Here it is. Hate and harassment have no place on Twitch. Okay. We all agree with that.
Wow.
Brave.
They
Wow,
said
great.
it.
I'm so glad they addressed it.
They said
Hold
it,
on.
so it must be true.
Can we do an anagram for Dan Clancy? Is that Nancy SoulCycle?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Whoa.
the letters are looking suspicious
That
there,
is
guys.
crazy.
You can make Nancy.
Fucking Dan. Dude, he was there when this motherfucker was born. Nancy was planning. She's old enough. To the Twitch community. Over the past few weeks, we've seen members of the community voice concerns about how we handle potentially harmful content. There's no place on Twitch for racism, hatred, or harassment of any kind, including anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. As our community has grown, we've endeavored to build community guidelines to prohibit these harms. Okay, well, I see that like they're saying
Cool.
they care about it.
Cool.
Obviously, they haven't been enforcing it equally. We can all agree. So that will obviously be
I
what
don't think
they
we can all
address
agree,
next.
You
Twitch
just fired
is and
anybody
always
who's
will
on
be
the
about
edge, yeah.
belonging.
Yeah, it's so stupid. And again, like, you guys all know this, but Ethan Klein is not some saint. He's dabbled in edgy ass humor his entire freaking career. Like, you could make these same sort of arguments against him if you really wanted to, if you were a total Karen, loser, piece of shit. back in the day when Ethan made like some problematic joke, what do you want people to call up YouTube and be like, you're not enforcing your guidelines. This man is making sexist jokes. He hates women. He's endangering women. Please ban him. Like, it's basically, that's no different than what Ethan is trying to do to Hasan. Again, taking out of context jokes and edgy statements and acting like that's proof that Hasan and other people in Hasan's orbit are genuinely anti-Semitic, which again is complete bullshit. They've argued over and over again against anti-Semitism. They constantly call it out. And ultimately, a lot of people in Hasan's orbit and Hasan himself, they view Israel as the number one perpetrator of anti-Semitism. Israel's existence and the fact that they continue to enact genocidal war crimes under the name of Judaism, under the guise of this religion, that's anti-Semitic. Calling anti-Zionist Jews traitors to Judaism, that's anti-Semitic. That's the real anti-Semitism that we see. But obviously that's not what Ethan's talking about. He's just talking about any criticism of Zionism. He over and over again tries to conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism, which is obviously not the case. Anyone who has 5 IQ points can figure that out. It's just not the same thing.
Yeah, Joe Biden's not Jewish, but he's the most powerful Zionist in America.
Stay unless you're in Israel. Then you're banned for
Literally,
a
yeah.
year, and we ignore your customer support tickets. Each day, people come together.
Also, yeah, this is another lie that Ethan Klein just told. He says that if you're in Israel, if you're an Israeli streamer, Twitch won't let you stream. Twitch blocks Israeli streamers. They must hate Jews. See, this is proof that Twitch is an anti-Semitic company, right? Well, I did about 3 minutes of research, probably not even 3 minutes, probably like 2 minutes of research. And I found out that in the immediate aftermath of October 7th, Twitch banned streamers from Israel and Palestine. They banned IP address from people in both of those regions. And this was upheld for a year. You can disagree with that decision if you want. I don't even necessarily know if I agree with it. I don't really understand exactly what the point of it was. I think it was to try to prevent people from broadcasting graphic footage of the war, to be honest. But they banned not just Israeli streamers. They banned Israeli and Palestinian streamers, again, because they didn't want people broadcasting fucking graphic war footage or making propaganda for either side on their platform. That's the reality. But Ethan acts like it's just Israeli streamers. He literally omits the full picture to make it sound like Twitch is anti-Semitic and like they're, not allowing Israeli people to work for their company, which is not fucking true.
Yeah, that would be a global outcry. If they had done what Ethan had described right there, there actually would be a fuckload of mainstream pressure for them to address the anti-Semitism problem. I promise you.
On our service to build communities around shared interests and to express themselves authentically. For this to be possible, we work hard to ensure that our community is a safe place. Okay, more of the same. Basically just a rephrasing of the first paragraph. So let's get to the fucking chase. Let's say something. Our community guidelines are foundational. And when we find content that breaks those rules, we take immediate enforcement action. This will always be the case. All right, are you getting ready to say something?
No, I see it's almost over.
That's it. It's almost over. Millions of streamers with a wide variety of views and perspectives spend time on Twitch. We recognize that some content, while allowed on our service, may be objectionable to some members of our community. The views shared by streamers on Twitch are not the views of Twitch, nor are they my personal views. Nice try fucking with that one, bitch.
Why is there mold in the lunch room?
Dude literally said Hasan was his famous streamer and blackmailed everybody
So
to
jealous.
sing him happy birthday, bitch. If you want to look impartial, you already fucked up.
Bro, he's so bitter. Can you imagine being so mad that somebody orchestrated a happy birthday song for somebody else? You're so brain warped. You're so cooked. You're so lead poisoned. I don't know. It's crazy. And guys, this is not a perfect analogy, but the kind of pissing and moaning that Ethan is doing right now, it really does remind me a lot of you can't say Merry Christmas anymore. Oh, the war on Christians. Starbucks is waging a war on us. Starbucks hates Christians. Gavin, did you know that Starbucks hates Christians? And we're about in that season again. We're about in that season where you guys are going to start hearing about how Starbucks hates Christians. They won't say Merry Christmas when you go there. You say Merry Christmas, they'll say Happy Holidays. You say, I didn't say Happy Holidays.
It's absolutely insane. And it's like, yeah, if we're going to be talking about foreign policy, if we're going to be talking about current events in general, yeah, you're going to have people that are on both sides of either conflict, making content about it, discussing it. Obviously, I'm firmly critical of Israel, but I would never sit here and advocate for Destiny to get banned from YouTube or for Ethan to get banned from YouTube.
That's the difference.
Because it's like, yeah, I showed up to this fucking space in the first place because I actually wanted to debate. I actually wanted to discuss and hear different viewpoints. I don't just want to live in an echo chamber. I just figured even someone like Ethan, who definitely disagrees with me on this conflict to an insane extent, I just figured even he would agree with that.
Yeah.
But
you know the analogy that I like to use, Gavin? When you become a broadcaster that weighs into politics, right? And you develop a platform for yourself and you make a living doing it, you become what's called a public figure, right? Gavin and I, we're not public figures because we're not big enough, but we aspire to do this at a higher level. And I take a lot of shots at people. I would never, ever pearl clutch. You can say whatever the fuck you want about me. Make 100 videos. I don't care, right? But the way I've always looked at it is we've all kind of signed up to participate in the sport of boxing, proverbially, right? And so we're all like, oh, I'm a boxer. Gavin's a boxer. We go live. We're boxing, right? We debate. We're boxing. Now, in boxing, you get hit, right? Now, how hilarious would it be to step into, the MSG, you're in the ring, the guy slugs you on the first fucking round, and you're like, start waving your arms. You start looking around like everybody else is crazy. They're like, did you just see this? That guy hit me in the face. That's assault. This man assaulted me in front of thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. The lights were on, cameras were rolling. He committed assault against me right on my face. I fell to the ground. Nobody helped me up.
it's like that one boxer that got hit by the Algerian lady.
Exactly.
Remember?
That's what Anna Kasparian is doing. That's what Ethan Klein is doing. That's what all of these folks who act like they're constantly under persecution because people disagree with them are doing. Nobody. You picked up a microphone. You turned on your webcam, you uploaded your shit to YouTube. Guess what? People are going to respond to it. That's how this platform works. You know what I mean? Oh, well, I don't like what they're saying. Make a video about how you don't fucking like it, right? They have every right to put out this video of them bitching and moaning. I'm sure he's spending half the time dusting his fucking legs off to keep the ants from crawling up to his candy ass. But he has every right to do so. You know what I mean? Where he really fucking loses me when he wants them to ban more people. They already banned like half a dozen streamers as a way of like loosely appeasing the Destiny, Ethan, I Love Israel crowd. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. You want to watch a little more of this?
Oh yeah, we can plow into a little
because
more.
they get into some funny footage of Hasan playing terrorist propaganda.
Sick. I'm gonna pee really quick, but we'll keep this playing. Cool.
You want to explain the Israel ban and why you guys straight up lied about it? We are grateful for the feedback. Shut up. And input from our community. Our safety approach continues to build and evolve, and our service grows. We want to ensure that anyone can find their place on Twitch, unless you're in Israel, and remain committed to ensuring that hate and harassment have no place here. You coward, you bitch-made fucking coward of a man.
So basically, nothing.
Well, let me see if they actually believe that.
I am Jewish.
So I go to Hasan's page, and there is stuff in there that's like, I feel like even like a Hasan fan could fairly look at this and say that, yeah, that's terrorist propaganda. Here it is up on his fucking page still. To this very moment is the clip of him watching Houthi propaganda video while getting up and just letting it play. And this is okay with you, Dan, you fuck! You coward! You are such a loser. This man hates Jewish people. There's no other conceivable. You know what I mean? That guy's doing. He's going, no, you're crazy for thinking that. Look at this shit. Why is it still on the website? Why can I still watch Houthi propaganda without any critical commentary on their website? Why?
This is a 3-minute video of. What do you mean a music video? When you said music video, I'm expecting like.
Imagine caring. This is the internet, bro. It's the internet. First of all, it's a freaking dumb music video with like some soldiers dancing around to Arabic sounding music. It wasn't even really propaganda. Propaganda would be like, this is why the Houthis are awesome and they're kicking ass. Like this was just freaking some dumb music video that Hasan was probably playing ironically just to piss you off, bro. Obviously. What does he have to pause the video every 5 seconds to say, this is bad, this is wrong? I know we're watching this video, guys, but I condemn this. Very bad. I mean, again, imagine spending your time as an internet content creator advocating to make the internet a cleaner, more corporate friendly place. How disgusting. How disgusting, especially as people who have watched the internet be destroyed by corporations, become sanitized. And yeah, obviously there's some dark parts of the internet that might be better left in the past, but you want to make the internet just this 100% corporate friendly place where
Disneyland. They're turning it into Disneyland. It's bullshit.
you got to listen to this, bro. You missed this while you were gone, but this is, oh my God, so funny.
Oh boy, let's hear it.
Up and just letting it play. And this is okay with you, Dan, you fuck! You coward! You are such a loser. This man hates Jewish people. There's no other conceivable.
What's going on?
You know what I mean? That guy's doing.
Hasan was playing this Houthi propaganda, which was just like a music video of soldiers dancing around to some song.
Bro,
And,
if you put that to a Toby Keith track, there's no way anybody like that there's probably 10,000 videos of that on Twitch right now of like dudes slaughtering people, getting kills in Call of Duty, glorifying America. What the hell is wrong with you, dude? Come on. A blatant double
Even
standard.
like a Hasan fan could fairly look at this and say that, yeah, that's terrorist propaganda. Here it is on his fucking page still. To this very moment is the clip of him watching Houthi propaganda video while getting up and just letting it play. And this is okay with you, Dan, you fuck! You coward! You are such a loser. This man hates Jewish people. There's no other conceivable. You know what I mean? That guy's doing.
God.
He's going, no, you're crazy for thinking that. Look at this shit. Why is it still on the website? Why can I still watch Houthi propaganda without any critical commentary on their website?
Bro, this is like the most like liberal bullshit I've ever seen in my entire life.
3-minute video of what do you mean a music?
and let it play for 3 minutes without being critical of it.
Bro, what the hell is the matter with you? This is like there's nothing going on in this video. These are the people that are opposing Israel in a war. You can't play there. Like that is so ridiculous. I wouldn't make that argument against any. Oh, are we not allowed to watch any Iraqis give their POV? Are we not allowed to watch any, Afghani folks? Oh, it's all Taliban propaganda. Oh, okay. Yeah, you fucking idiot. Like, way to just be so self-serving. Way to just roll out the red carpet for yourself as you live the most privileged lifestyle ever. And then you watch a brigade of individuals who have lived a life of horror that you could never fucking imagine. Okay, none of us in America can imagine the suffering that we have imposed on the Middle East. It is unfathomable to us. Okay, so to sit here and opine and lecture, you ever turn on an NFL football game, Ethan? You ever turn on the Major League Baseball World Series? There's an entire fucking propaganda effort before every single fucking one of those in America. Okay. Oh, well, like it's such an insane double standard. We do bad shit all the time, but somehow deep down we're all good people. But another government does bad shit. Somehow all their people are trash. Do you know what that means, Gavin? You're deep down a racist. You're a xenophobe. You hate cultures that are not your own, and you have a massive superiority complex. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, it's 100% racist as fuck. I mean, like I said, if you want to call Hasan anti-Semitic, which he's not, then you would have to also admit that Destiny is Islamophobic. And that means they should both get banned, right? Unless your point is that you care more about Israeli people than Arab people. And then, yeah, you're just a racist. You're just a fucking Israeli supremacist who thinks that you shouldn't be allowed to be anti-Semitic, but that you should be allowed to be Islamophobic, which, like I said, Destiny actually is. Destiny actually genuinely says Islamophobic shit constantly. But you don't see Ethan clamoring for him to get banned. And you don't see us clamoring for him to get banned either, because we're forgetting.
He was banned for what?
That's true. That's true. He was banned. And I disagree
like
with that.
cracker or something.
It was, I don't remember what it was. It was something stupid, though. And I don't agree with that decision. I don't think that Destiny should be banned from Twitch. I think he should be able to say whatever the fuck he wants. Because, like I said, this is the internet and we're all adults. You can go to the coffee shop and hear people making viciously pro-Israeli arguments. You can go to the freaking, store down the street. You might hear some guy saying that actually Putin is based. Like, what are you going to call the cops and have him removed? This is life. Deal with it. I hate this fucking Karen bullshit. Oh, I can't stand hearing someone I disagree with online. So now I have to call up Dan Clancy or whoever the fuck owns Twitch and threaten him and send my stupid brain dead audience after them. And try to gin up this post 9/11 war on terror fury where it's canceling entertainers who aren't, pro-America enough. What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Does this not give you like Bush era vibes?
Oh,
like,
dude, that's been the theme of the entire episode, guys. We've regressed as a country about 25 years. I really feel like culturally we've regressed about 25 years, and it's baffling to me and Gavin because I feel like it's the true definition of like Groundhog Day. Deja vu is what I should have said, right?
Yep.
Like we've seen this before, we've lived this before, and Gavin and I tracked it as young people. We got to watch Tea Party rallies in our neighborhood. We got to watch our liberal teachers tell us that they did like Barack Obama, right? I remember I had my mind blown, dude, when Mrs. Abramovich came in with a fucking big old picture of Barack Obama in the Kansas City Star newspaper, and she was like, today is a historic day, everyone. I don't know what you've heard at home, but I want to tell you right now that this is going to be a wonderful new chapter for this country. And she was fucking like, she was honestly probably a based lady, right? You know, we were in a very conservative school, and she was like, don't let anybody make you fearful of this guy. And obviously that was all like fucking, propaganda for children, right? But the contrast to the like ardent fucking, bigotry that was palpable at that time, the Tea Party protests at the college campus near where we lived, all that stuff. We've watched all that happen again. We've watched all of the evangelicals gain and lose power. We watched, it's crazy how it's starting to slip away again. And we're going to be here to document it all.
Yep, 100%.
But it looks like Hasan fired back,
Yep.
or at least clarified.
Absolutely. Hasan took to Twitter, and as I said, he hasn't really been engaging with Ethan much. It's not like he's making content about the content that Ethan's making. He kind of seems to just be like over this all.
It's not that he's too damn big to listen to the rumors. It's just that he's too damn big to pay attention to him. That's the difference. I fucked that up yesterday, and I needed to hit it again this time.
Yeah, I was like, oh, almost there.
Almost there. I fucked it up. I tried to go for too many. I bit off more than I could chew. I was like, I tried to go for the full bars, and I was like, so we could keep it the same. But I was like, I missed that. I mixed that shit up. Anyway, go on, Gavin.
Either way, so Hasan does respond here, not like mentioning Ethan by name, but certainly responding to that stupid Instagram post that we showed you guys. He says, I am anti-war and anti-hate unconditionally, even if it's America or its allies doing it. I believe we should spend the money we waste overseas killing people on healing and housing people here instead. I think those who consider my worldview to be radical are telling on themselves.
Doesn't sound too radical to me, Gavin. Sound radical to you?
No. And again, it's disgraceful because Zach and I obviously have been incredibly critical of Israel and of the genocide that America is funding. It's something we've talked almost every single day about for the last year. But we've also been critical of people on the so-called left who do what Ethan is accusing Hasan of doing. This is a real thing. We've talked about Jackson Hinkle. For a while, Jackson Hinkle was the #1 X user, whatever you want to call it, Twitter, now X.
Wait, he was?
Yes, he was the #1 Twitter user. He got the most engagement out of anyone on the platform, and
God,
he's
makes
actually.
my stomach hurt.
I know, it's disgusting, and this is a real problem. Like, I don't want anyone watching our show to think that we aren't concerned about anti-Semitism. We 100% are, and we've called it out over and over and over again from other channels who dabble in criticism of Israel, but that really actually just want to use it as an excuse to indulge in anti-Semitism. People like Jake Shields, people
Ross,
like Candace Owens, people like Nick Fuentes, for example. You'll hear him say like that Israel's genocide, and it's like, yeah, you don't actually care about genocide. You don't care about Palestinian people. You just want an excuse to be anti-Semitic. And there are a lot of these people. Like I said, Candace Owens, Jackson Hinkle, Jake Shields, these are all prominent examples of genuine anti-Semites who have latched on to the pro-Palestinian movement in a phony and disgusting way that frankly does discredit a lot of good activists who have no hate in their heart for Jewish folks like us. So it really does bother me. It's disgusting. And if Ethan actually cares about anti-Semitism, then he should do a stream devoted to those creators. Talk about Candace Owens, talk about Jackson Hinkle, talk about these absolute ghouls that unfortunately do trick a lot of people that also care about what Israel's doing and lead them down a very dark path, a very dark and conspiratorial path of hatred and bigotry that basically does turn those viewers into Nazis. That's what's actually happening. But to accuse Hasan Piker of that is just ridiculous. It's patently absurd. Anyone who actually is familiar with Hasan's content realizes that Ethan is constructing a caricature of Hasan, a straw man that he can easily knock down, when in reality, that does not reflect Hasan's beliefs, his opinions, or his commentary. It just doesn't.